Okay, everybody with me?
Yep. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Super. All right. So, welcome to the first breath call of 2012. And we've been talking a little bit about the importance of breath. And I really cannot tell you how immensely useful breath awareness can be. And some of the folks who are on the call have worked with me before in sessions. And one of my favorite things to invite them to do is to take our work, and then when they leave the house at every traffic light where they have to stop, that they do 3 of those breaths while they're waiting for the light to turn green as a way of practicing what we've been working on. There's very few tips that I know that I can work with in such an easy, simple way while I'm doing very basic, everyday things that change how I feel any more than that breath work does. So I'm excited to share some things with you, and I'll tell you this is so uncomplicated. Just relax and know that this is going to be fun and easy. There's nothing that's hard about it except remembering to do it. And that's really the big challenge in any sort of change in a pattern, is remembering to do it. But once you feel the difference that this kind of breathing makes, you will remember to do it. It may take a few moments, but then the aha will light up, and you'll remember, oh, yes, I know what I can do to settle back down into myself and feel a little differently. When you're breathing well, and by well, I mean you're really using your body to breathe. You're not just allowing air to come into the lungs and back out, and into the lungs and back out. That is breath, but it is a drop in an ocean of breath that's possible for you. So through our breath work over these calls and the things that we'll do out on the One Breath at a Time Facebook page, I will help guide you into the ocean and into the experience of the ocean of breath that's possible for you. And as we do this, I want you to share with me where you're getting stuck. Where did it take a little extra effort, or where did you hit a wall, so to speak? Because we can find all of those places, add a certain breathing technique or a different meditation around it to help you move right through it. It will melt like butter. It is just amazing. So I will also call on you guys to give me feedback with that as well as we go forward. I'd like to offer these the first Saturday of every month at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that way that will give us at least once a month to check in and hear each other and breathe together. I'm also working on some other media things that I hope will be possible for you really soon to support you at your own time, in your home, and in your journeys. So, why breathe better? Well, first of all, you're going to feel better. And when you feel better, like Darcy was saying earlier before we started the recording, that when you're breathing better, everything sort of settles down. You can hear guidance better. The things that are running in your head, that hamster wheel that you're worried about that's in your head running like crazy, settles down and suddenly is not even there anymore. You feel serene around places that before were driving you like a taskmaster. The breath can make that possible if you allow it to. And every little bit that you get that helps you feel better, you'll want more. Through that change in the breath, as you're feeling more relaxed, as your mind is getting more relaxed, because it surely slows that down, as well as letting the actual physical body relax, you feel more present in your life. Welcome.
Fish Talbot.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. So we're talking about the breath. Yes, we have. That's quite all right. You can jump right in there with us. We're talking about the benefits of the breath. We haven't started the meditation yet, so you're right on time.
Great.
So we're talking about the benefits of the breath, that when you change the way you breathe, when you enhance the flow of breath and the rhythm of breath, that you relax. And not only does your body relax, but your mind gets to relax. And when your mind and body both are relaxing, you feel more present in that moment. You really are right there. You're not running ahead, worrying about what's coming up, or trying to figure out something about what's coming up. And you're not stuck back in the past, sort of running the old tapes of something that happened before those moments. And a wonderful thing happens in your body. All those systems get to take a big ah and relax. Your body gets to do what it does best at the rhythm that works best for it. Your blood pressure will find a more natural rhythm. Heartbeat finds a more natural rhythm. Everything, digestion, everything gets to respond by not being in the stress or strain of actual stress, but it gets to relax and find its own natural rhythm. Your body obviously works best when it's at its natural rhythm. It does what it does in the very best way possible. Now, what happens? What's the benefit in that? Well, you are obviously healthier and you feel better, but what else is the benefit? When you're breathing well, there is more room literally within you, actually physically within you. You are using more room within your body for breath. And as you breathe, what are you breathing? You're breathing air. You're breathing the energy of life. You're breathing the God consciousness, however you see that energy. You are breathing more of life. And as you breathe more of life into your body, it expands your sense of life within yourself. It opens the doors to more possibilities because you've opened the space to say, I am present with more of life and all those possibilities. That in itself is nearly enough, and yet it's just the beginning. So I invite you to take a moment and just feel where you're sitting. Get comfortable. We're only going to do a short guided meditation this time, just to help you settle into the breath rhythm a little bit. And I'm going to talk a little about the organic breath. The organic breath is a rhythm that you were born with. It's the rhythm that babies breathe in. Babies they're not worried about the bills they're paying and how to get their kids through college and, can they afford to buy the house they've got, or can they hope to help someone who's having a tough time. All the things that adults have pressures of, babies aren't experiencing that. They're simply breathing and being in the presence of life. That's the organic breath rhythm that I'm talking about. That's still within us. And that's where we're going to return to begin, and we're going to play with that organic breath. So just relax. If you can put your phone on speaker, that might be quite nice, so you don't have to hold it. However you're doing this will be fine. It's not hard and it doesn't really require a lot, but just get comfortable so you can really enjoy it. Because after all, I love tools that are not only super simple and effective, but they're fun too. I think that's a great combination. So, close your eyes for a moment and just take a breath and see how it feels to just breathe right now, right here, without judgment. Just notice and be aware. Exhale first. Now breathe in. Exhale again. Keep breathing and just feel, where is the breath flowing? Can you follow it with your mind into the body? Can you feel, does it fill your lungs and then get caught in a certain place that's tight in the right shoulder, or doesn't feel like your diaphragm is moving? Whatever it is, it's all good. Maybe you're billowing like the craziest big full sail in the sailing vessel you've ever seen, and you're getting a wonderful, beautiful breath. Awesome. Whatever it is perfect in the moment. Because as we breathe and as we change patterns, it is absolutely with unconditional love and without judgment for anything that appears. In that presence of grace that is all perfect, everything can be changed. So just breathe for a moment again. And just make a note in your mind. It felt like this, whatever this is. And that can be your starting point for today. And now as you keep breathing, I want you to become more aware of the fullness of your abdomen. Breath doesn't just live in the lungs. It lives in the whole body. It lives in every cell. I heard a startling fact on a science show the other night that the BBC produces. 99.9% of the universe is empty. 99.9% of the universe, the universal matter, is empty. That means that 99.9% of every cell in your body is empty. We are going to invite the breath to find its way there, to breathe within every cell of our body, but not today. And feel the body expand and contract, and just watch it. Just like the baby's belly rises so big when they breathe and falls, and rises and falls. They're not breathing in their chest. They're breathing deep into the belly. They're breathing all the way to the pelvic floor. They're using all of that space to breathe and bring life into their bodies. That's the organic breath. So focus there and watch. You can even put one hand on the lower abdomen, around the belly button, or a little lower, and put one hand on the chest. And just feel the presence of the breath as it moves through you. And as we begin the organic breath, it is a day like it is here, with a cornflower blue sky, without nary a wisp of a cloud. It is bright blue, 360 degrees, looking through stark oak trees, hickories and poplars. The bright blue sky shines as the central sun beams its beautiful, radiant, golden light onto planet Earth to feed every cell of every organism on, above, around, and in this earth with life-giving energy, with life-sustaining energy. You are being fed by the sun. You are being fed by the energy that you're breathing. You are being nourished, nurtured, and sustained by the very breath that you are allowing into your bodies right now. This warm and beautiful day feels luscious on your skin. There is a sweet, almost warm breeze that is stirring through the bare branches of winter, flowing across your skin, rustling in your hair just a little bit. As you breathe and just let go a little bit more, these are your moments to just let go. The day will wait. These are your moments. Breathe. Breathe and say, for this moment, I'm just breathing, and that's enough. I'm just breathing, and that's more than enough. And the warm sun feels radiant upon your crown, and the crown opens and stretches like a beautiful blossom of spring wanting to bloom wide with its kaleidoscopic color streaming into the heavens, stretching each beautiful, soft, velvety petal more towards the heavens to reach out for more of that sunlight, more of that energy and chi from the universe, more of that life that it brings. And it flows on the breath of all as it's breathed through you on your own breath. Relax into the body. Feel the presence of the body and say, this next breath is just for you. Open your hearts and open your belly. Relax deeper and just let that breath in. Let it in. It knows where to go. There's no forcing. It's just opening to life. It's allowing it to happen. It's being present and being still, yet vital and alive, and saying, breathe through me as I breathe you, breath of life. As you fall in love with life on every breath, you fall in love with yourself and your presence in your own life. And as you're breathing and feeling the rhythm moving within you, take a notice, are you also exhaling deeply? Sometimes that which holds us back the most is not the inhalation, but the exhalation. We don't let go. We don't surrender. We don't flow soft and easy into the emptiness of the pause between the breaths. We hold a little back in case we need it. Let go. As much as you can, just let go. And just be aware of the exhalation as well. And continue to breathe just a moment, feeling that rhythm as it flows on the sunlight. And the sunlight flows on the breath, warming the chest and the abdomen, relaxing the shoulders and the rib cage, rippling down the spine like golden honey flowing on a warm summer day. Relaxing into the pelvic girdle, relaxing the hips. Oh, so easy to move forward with relaxed, flowing hips. And the breath rolls down through the legs, relaxing the knees and the ankles and calves. Relaxing the feet and the bones of the feet as it flows through the chakras at the bottom of the feet, deep into the earth herself. And you are one streaming column of breath. Luminous, radiating life, breath. When you're breathing and you're allowing breath to breathe you, and you're surrendering deeper and deeper into that rhythm of breath, you are the organic breath of life. Very softly, very gently, come back into the presence of the call. Continue to breathe lusciously and lavishly as you do, because this breath lives in all places, in all spaces, not just in the odd moment of meditation not just in the odd moment of a session, whether it's chiropractic or massage or Reiki energy work, whatever it is that you do for yourself in your holistic journey. This breath lives in all places, in all ways, in all circumstances, because it's already part of you. So breathe sweetly, without strain, just open to the breath. Come present on our call. And I'm wondering, would anyone like to share a thought about this breathing exercise? If you have a question, we can answer it now. If you would like to hold your question, I'm also going to have some time right at the end of the call for questions. But let's open it up to everyone, and who would like to share something about this?
Well, I thought it was lovely. It was wonderful.
Oh,
I wanted a little more time.
Yes.
I was there. I didn't want to come back.
Yes, I'm
right
glad.
at the end, I felt this connection to everything, the oneness.
Luscious. Mhm. And who's this?
Paige.
Paige. Okay, I thought so, Paige, but I wanted to make sure who I was talking with. That's wonderful, Paige. Well done. And you know, that's all the time. We're just not paying attention to it.
Right.
And through the breath, it calls our attention to it. And wouldn't it be wonderful all through the day to just have that gift of feeling connected to the all?
Mhm.
That's wonderful. I'm very good. That's quick to get that experience so quickly. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, well, I want to go back. Or I want to stay there. I should say I want to stay there.
Yes, yes, yes. And that will help you then in your practice of this breath to build it into all the things that you do when you're washing clothes, when you're driving the car, when you're on the way to work, when you have a few minutes that you're not focused on something else. You just call that breath back and keep it with you, because it really isn't separate. It's not out there and you're here. It's right inside you.
Right.
And everything that we do around the breath will continue to build it into the body's actual kinesthetic experience that helps you. Anchor isn't really the word I'm looking for, but metaphorically it kind of speaks to what I'm saying. It'll help you anchor it into your body, and that way you have no separation from it. You have no sense of separation from it. So that'll be cool.
Yes.
Beautiful. So, well, keep breathing, Paige, and you'll be right
no
there.
kidding. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I find I do that, and I get in a stressful situation. That's the first thing that goes is I stop breathing. I'm like, you know.
Yes. The thing that can help us the most is usually the first thing that runs out the door, because we turn away from it. But if we turn away, if it doesn't leave us, if we turn away from it, then we can change it, because it's at our hand that we didn't remember to breathe.
Right.
So that's the good news in that. The moment you feel that constriction, the more you breathe like this, the more you'll feel out of that breath when you are. And you'll go right back to it. You'll go, oh, yeah, that's right. And then you'll find the breath again.
All right, good.
So when you're rushing and you know there's all that noise in your head because you're rushing, it's like, oh, man, am I going to get there? Got to do this, got to do that. That's when you're dropping your car keys, you're spilling your coffee going out the door.
Exactly.
When that stuff starts to roll like that, you will catch it and you'll go, whoa, wait a minute. Roll it back and slow down and just stand here a minute and breathe. I've got 30 seconds to breathe something that's going to make all the rest of this story different, because it will. It'll change the end of that story. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yep, it is beautiful. Yep.
Thank you, Paige.
I'm really gonna practice that more and more, and like you said, try to integrate it. So hopefully it will be the norm instead of the exception.
Yes, and it will. It really will. I used to. The reason that I started doing breath work and meditation was because when I would get really stressed out, my breath would shut off, and I could get just, some in there, enough to still be alive, but you feel like you're kind of panting.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Out. Mhm. And so I found meditation and breath work, and it changed my life. And I love helping other people with it because it's so simple, and it's already a part of you. It's not something you have to go and find somewhere else and bring into yourself. So wonderful. And each month we'll come on and do a little bit of this, and hopefully in between there'll be enough on the Facebook page to kind of help give you tips and inspirations along the way. And I also want everyone who's on this journey with me in this way to post, I'm having a little trouble with this or something like that, so I can respond to it and really do some coaching with you in between calls. So
okay.
Thanks, Paige. Anyone else want to share?
This is Lee.
Yes, Lee.
Was just even though it was a short time, felt like I went very deep, very quickly with the breath, deeper than I can get, just through a regular meditation. So it's something that I will incorporate in my regular meditations, just to do more breathing during that time. But it was very relaxing.
Yes, good. Good. Thank you, Lee. Yes, it will continue to deepen any other practice that you're doing. If you're doing yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong, you will find great benefit in the breathing that we will do together. And this is just the first breath rhythm that I'm introducing, and we'll work with that until everyone's really comfortable with it, and then start to expand it a little more even. So if you are an artist or a writer, or you like to, maybe you're an artisan of some kind, or whatever it is that you like to do, if you will bring this awareness of this breath to it, you will enhance it because you will be more present in it. And the deeper you get more present, the more of the universe is available to you. Think about that statement for just a moment. The more deeply you are present, the more of the universe is available to you. It's not that it's not there any other time, but suddenly you are aware of it, and you're aware that you're in the presence of it. Like that connection to all that Paige just mentioned. And if you are in that awareness and experience, what is not possible in those moments? The inspiration that comes to you during those moments is vast. It's hard for the inspiration of the universe to whisper beautiful, wonderful new ideas to you when you are so busy running hard that you can't hear. So these are wonderful pauses to listen and be still without stopping doing everything. You can do this while you're doing almost everything else. And just be, and be with the all of everything. And you are feeding your body. Your health, you will see a change in the way you feel around your health. You will see a change in the way you feel mentally, and you will see a change in the way you feel emotionally. And you will also see a change in your spiritual life if you also incorporate this breath into that kind of awareness. If that's also your path, then you will find it there as well. So there's benefit across the board to this kind of breathing. So is there anyone else who'd like to share? All right. Then,
this is
go ahead, please.
This is Dan. And I feel like
yes,
I'm
Dan.
in a puddle of breath. Just floating
You're in
breath.
A what of breath, Dan?
A puddle.
Oh.
Just sort of floating there in it.
How does that feel?
Delicious.
Well, wonderful. It's hard to argue with delicious, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Good for you.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, Dan. Well, that's the way to do it. Just without us even, if we weren't paying attention to it in some way, if we weren't agreeing to be aware of it in some way, we would miss knowing that. And that would be a shame. That's a wonderful thing to know. And it's a great thing to feel. So many of the times during the day, we're taking in so much stimulus from all the things that are going on around us and all the things that are going on in our lives. They're not all wonderful, life-affirming stimulus. And it's really terrific when you can take a few moments. I mean, I don't know how long that little meditation was, but it was fairly short. To take a few moments and find yourself in the deliciousness of breath. I'd sign up for that.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Hey, and no calories, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. And it's totally free.
You're
breathing. You're not having, yes, you don't have to go to the store and get it. You never run out unless you just choose to stop. So
it fits everybody's budget and everybody's diet, right?
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. So that's wonderful. Thank you, Dan. I love that visual and that description. It's a good way to be.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. If any of you run or row or any of those kind of things that are very energetic, you will also love your breath changes that come from this practice too, because it will continue to open it deeper and deeper, making it possible for you to sustain more breath at a time. So it will show up in all kinds of ways for you. I look forward to hearing about how some of those play out along the way too. And I want to just touch base one more time on the idea that when you are opening more to breath, you are literally opening more to life. And by opening more to life, you are opening more to the possibilities of life. So if you were doing personal journey work, or if you are looking for guidance around a decision, or if you're just wanting to feel unstuck, because we all know what it feels like to feel kind of stuck, this is where I'd like to invite you to go, is into this breath. And remember that just that little short visual and the warmth and the breeze and the opening where your body just sort of melts and opens more and more, letting that breath flow, breathe you as you breathe it. And you will feel so much different in those few moments. It will help guide you. It will help open those possibilities. It will help you feel more empowered in those moments that there even are possibilities. Because I don't know about you guys, but there are certainly times when I can forget that there has to be a possibility here that I'm just not seeing, and feel sort of ratcheted down in something. And just by breathing differently, it's like, well, wait a minute. Why was I thinking that again? It changes it that quickly. It renews your outlook on life, because hope is a very important part of that. Potential and possibility, very important part of how we feel about our life. You've all heard people say, I had no other choice but to blah, whatever it was. Well, sometimes in some circumstances that may be true, but it's usually that we have arrived at that choice thinking it was the only one. The best thing you can do for yourself when you feel that way is to just be in the presence of the all and wait for those inspirations to come through your breathing. Through your breathing that brings that presence right there with you. I know when I was working on changing my breath, at first it was very challenging. When things would get busy, you're so used to running in the stress that you forget you're doing it. But the moment you catch yourself, I want you to change your breath instantly, without judgment. In fact, so without judgment that it's like the aha, the wonder of a surprise. Aha, I know what I can do. Because the more you do it that way, the more you will allow that awareness to come up. Sometimes we are very self-critical, and that doesn't really serve us in any way. So by allowing that to be vaporous and pass us by, then we can just simply focus on what we would really like. And we're okay and perfectly fine wherever we are, and we have a choice in each moment to be even more of that. It's like holding ourselves in the palms of our hands like beautiful exotic butterflies. We don't want to put a death grip on that butterfly and squash it. We hold it gently, giving it room to move, loving everything that it does. Treat yourself with that sort of kindness and gentleness, and it opens a lot of possibilities. So if you're feeling frustrated, just breathe and just say, for the frustration, I'll breathe. For the relaxing of that frustration, I'll breathe. For the love of life and the love of myself in life, I'll just breathe, and then I'll decide. And you'll find that kind of guidance in your breathing will serve you so well. You know, those kind of decisions, does anyone ever make these kind where you feel pressed in the moment to make a decision, something doesn't feel right, you know you don't want to make that decision, but you hear in your head, oh, well, all right then, and you make it? A lot of mine don't play out well when they're like that because they're not from a real centered place. Does anyone ever have that come up?
Oh, yeah.
You feel pressed or, yeah. You have to make a fast decision. And I even got comfortable enough with the breathing that sometimes I would say to people, could you give me just a minute? And I'd breathe. I'd just stand there and breathe. And sometimes it would be the same decision, but then sometimes not, or some compromise of that decision, or something brand new. But at least I felt like I was giving the decision from being present. So you will use this in so many different ways. It is a passive tool in that it is experiential. It is a beingness tool. And yet it's also a very active tool because you will call on it when you know you can use it to help you. That makes it a win-win. Does anyone have any particular challenges they would like addressed today on the call, or suggestions about certain specific things that breath might help, or a breath issue that might be addressed in some way?
Well, I do have to say I'm glad you mentioned that about the exhaling, because I did feel like at first my exhale wasn't smooth, so apparently I'm hanging on to some things.
Mm-hmm.
But as I went deeper and deeper, it smoothed out, and it seemed a lot better.
Wonderful, Paige.
So I'm glad
you
mentioned
build
that.
Trust. Yeah, you good. I am too. You build trust with yourself, and you build trust with life, and you show yourself it's okay to let go. It's okay just to let go and be, and empty. Go into the empty space. Yes, that's beautiful. You'll enjoy doing that. So maybe for a while, Paige, or any time, any of us, for all of us, any time that we feel extra tight around something, exhale first and try to see what's still there. And the breathing practice isn't a forced breathing, but it is a deep invitation of breath. So sometimes when you're exhaling, that first exhalation especially, if you want to tighten the deep abdomen and sort of help all that air move out, you can do that. Because It's not like a like that. That just came from your lungs.
Right.
That's really not that efficient. But it's a push from the deep within the belly, and to let that air move out. And when you hit the wall of you think you're completely empty, squeeze your abdomen a little bit, tighten the muscles a little bit down there, and just see if some more air won't come out. I bet you'll surprise yourself. And then let those muscles really loose, especially our culture. We walk around with sucked-in tummies and all of that. It doesn't really serve our breathing. So I'm asking everybody to forget all that stuff for your breathing exercises and just really let your beautiful body be its beautiful self and just let it take in life. So the most relaxed you can get, the better. And then, if we find that we're having a rougher exhalation than we're used to, or that we're just discovering that we have, and that's a beautiful journal point where you can sit and ask for guidance, or you can go journal for guidance and say, if I were holding on to something, it would be, and see the first thing that comes up in your mind, because it will come up. If you ask the question and make the space, it will come up. And it's a great way then to begin to get guidance to just sort of self-adjust each day. And that creates a whole different stream in and of itself. But it's a good starting place. Thank you. Yes, because you can't force air. If you don't really exhale, how are you going to get more air in there?
Right.
Yes. So, yes, I discovered that along the way, because sometimes the more you try to suck air in, it's like, well, I can't get any more in there. It's like, well, exhale then, and then all this air comes out. Oh, got it. And that really is trusting life. Yes.
Hi, this is Trish. I loved what you said. Hi. I loved what you said about making a decision and taking a breath. I tend to get flustered or feel like I have to make a decision right away, or even when I'm on the phone with people a lot, they're like, hurry up and talk to me and get it out, and I feel like I'm being rushed a lot. So just to sit back a minute and just go and let them have their own trip, or let them, or just for me, just to take that. That's a really big thing. And for me, for this meditation, I have a lot of stress in my back. So I was really feeling that, like I take a breath and I go, wow, the middle of my back was like really tense, so I took the time to kind of keep breathing through the tenseness just to kind of help release it. So it was great, and I could feel the breeze on my face. It was great. It was good meditation.
Oh, good. Thank you, Trish. That's a very good point about discovering those places that are tight while we're doing the breathing. And if you will, do exactly what you did, was sort of focus your attention to that place and just smile at it. Even our facial expressions change our whole energy frequency. Smile at it in your mind and on your face and say, I'm breathing this one for you. Like you'd be soft and sweet with a child. I'm breathing this one for you because I feel you. I notice you. Very powerful work when you're soft and gentle like that. That's wonderful.
Great idea. That's great.
Yes. And do you do chakra work, Trish?
No, I'm familiar with it. I've kind of been involved in kind of holistic stuff for a very long time, so I'm familiar with it. I'm also a first-degree Reiki person, but I haven't done it in a long time. So it's nice to connect with you because I know you do Reiki, and you're here in West Columbia, right? So
yes, I am. Are you here as well?
Yeah. I'm in Columbia, and I've been here for a long time. I'm just now starting to reach out, and so I'm glad to make your acquaintance for sure.
Oh, thank you. Me too. Me too. That's wonderful. It's a big spread out city, and we can be here for a long time and not know about people too.
Exactly.
Well, I was going to suggest to you about the chakras. Sometimes the middle of the back is the solar plexus. And the solar plexus has to do with our emotions and our power. It's our power center. How are we feeling about ourselves? Are we feeling empowered? Are we feeling strong in who we are? Are we feeling a happy connection to the outside world authentically through who we are? And how are our emotions flowing in the moment? So I just offer you that little snippet to also see if maybe that will also help you with that part of your back.
Wonderful. Yeah, right on.
Good.
Perfect.
Good.
Because it's like I'm really trying to reach out right now, and I'm actually very shy, so this is really, and it has to do with my total self-esteem and all that, just even so perfect. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Very good.
Yeah. It's wonderful what our body can tell us. Sometimes we have to know what questions to ask, but then also just be willing to hear the answers. Sometimes we don't really know if we want to hear the answers, and then when things all line up and show us a pattern that we already knew, then that's beautiful. It's like, well, yeah, there you go. I love it when things come together in the universe and it all makes sense.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. So I'd just like to, does anyone else have questions or would like some assistance with anything?
Penny, I wondered if you had a minute or two to talk about the you were mentioning the 99% void and the breath in there.
Yes. Dan. In my breathing practice, I have talked profusely about there's so much room in our bodies. There's so much room in our bodies for breath. I had no idea until this was a physicist doing a science show. Anyway, I had no idea that it really is that empty, that matter itself, that within every atom, the amount of matter is that little 0.01%. The rest is empty. So it totally clicked with me. It's like, oh, my gosh, that's where the breath's going. Because in my mind, I didn't know where it was or where it was going. But that makes sense. So when I breathe into those spaces, the more you breathe without regard to limit, the less limit there could possibly be. And as we journey along the way with these, we're going to introduce different breaths at different levels. And some of those, Dan, are actually going to move into those spaces. But there's no reason you won't experience that on your own beforehand, but just consciously we'll bring them in. But as you breathe, if there's no limit, you're not just breathing into your lungs, you're breathing into your whole abdomen, you can continue to breathe and ask your body, breathe more, have more of life, move into all those spaces now, move out into each cell, move out into each atom. Breath of life, bask every atom of my body and fill the beautiful open spaces with the bright sunshine and the sweet fragrances and breezes of life. You will feel a difference.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did that answer your question?
Perfectly.
Or give you what you were looking for? Okay, good. Thank you. So that's an invitation for everyone. Play with it as you will and as you're guided to. I really look forward to hearing some feedback along the way of how this is working out for you. So I invite you to use the Facebook One Breath at a Time, Penny Calcina, One Breath at a Time Facebook page. You can also, if you'd rather do something more personal, you can message me there, and I'll be happy to correspond with you about that, because I really want to bring coaching for you in between times to help you as well. And anything that you have a question about or you're hung up about. I also wanted to tell you that if you want to look over anything I have on the website, it's also listed on my Facebook page, but it's earthstarradiance.com. I invite you to go there and look around and see what's being offered. The most upcoming event I have, or two events actually, is a full moon meditation this Monday, January 9th at 1 o'clock here at Earth Star Radiance. And on January 20th, I'm having another Walking the Inner Labyrinth immersion weekend in Ravenel, South Carolina. And there's details about both of those events on the website. There's also an event for the walk on Facebook. So unless you guys have any more questions, I would really like to just give you a few more breaths. I'll breathe for you. You can breathe with me. And we'll do a little more group breathing. But before we do that, I have a free CD that I'd like to give away. And I want to make sure I've got everybody who is on the call, Trish and Paige and Lee and Darcy and Dan. Did I miss anyone? Super. Okay, I'm going to put those names. I've got a little thing here to put the names in. And I'd like to draw for that free Just Breathe CD. It's a CD that I've recorded of 2 separate guided meditations. And each one's 20-something minutes long. And it's the one Darcy talked about when she was on giving us that information earlier in the call. So hold on just a minute here. Okay. Oh, Trish.
Oh, awesome.
Yay.
Very good.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
That's awesome. Great.
Oh, wonderful. All right. So, Trish, if you want to message me on Facebook or send an email to penny@earthstarradiance.com with your mailing address information, I'll be glad to send that out to you.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you very much. How fun.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. So let's breathe together and have a few minutes of group breath, which is different yet the same as when we breathe by ourselves. And the power of group experience is so strong that calls like these that can really support you in your own personal work by coming together in a group, someone's bound to ask a question that you also have been thinking about or have a situation that you can really benefit from as well. As vastly different as we sometimes think we all are, we really are all the same. There's all the same things are on our plates in one way or another, and we all are made the same way. And so we support each other with our own experiences. So I thank you tremendously for coming on today. I look forward to journeying with you, and let's breathe for a few moments, and then if you like, we can quietly adjourn. So I'll let you know when we are to the end. So let's begin by exhaling. Inhale. And exhale and find your rhythm within mine. Breathe in your own rhythm. Sink deeper, open more, and just breathe. As if you're looking out upon a vast ocean of sparkling blue-green water, nearly flat. The sun shines like sparkling diamonds across its surface. And yet close to the shore, one at a time, the softest, sweetest ripples of waves begin to roll into the shore. And there you are, standing on the edge of that shore, barefoot in the warm sand, the little waves rolling up around your toes, bubbles popping on your feet. And just as surely as this one saturates your feet, the pause comes next. And then the waves roll back out to sea in their own sweet rhythm of breath. Rolling far out to the sea and pause. And here comes the next wave, just as surely as the last. Rolling in and pausing, rolling out and pausing yet again. The two change points between the action, the two places of pure beingness in the rhythm of the breath. Neither exhaling nor inhaling, you are simply one in the moment. Surrender to trusting life with every cell in your body. Turn it all over to breath. Smile and relax and open your chest and heart. Say, here I am, life. Come live through me. Come fill me. Come bedazzle me with the possibilities that flow on your breath. Here I am. Perfect breath on every moment. Surrender to the all. Accept life within your beingness. Accept love within you. How much more of love can flow into your body and into your life? What room is there within you for this love to grow and bloom? Exhale and find new space. Not by forcing, but surrendering. Smile of life living within you, of new love of life showing up in your outer life, of new excitement around the sweet lusciousness of living life. And celebrate, celebrate, celebrate it with the gift of breath. One moment, one breath at a time. So, come present. And I must tell you before we hang up that on Facebook I've been writing about being visited by the hawks and eagles on the river in a very particular way. And they have not been here all day. I've looked out for them a couple of times. And I happened to walk outside as I was breathing with you in that meditation. And the red tail is sitting up in the oak tree, just pretty as you please, breathing with us. So we had a very special visitor for our breathing today, as well as each of you. Thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to sharing with you again, and also through Facebook and any communication you may need. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you all.
Thank you, Penny.
Thank you.
Thank you, Penny.
Thank you, Penny.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.